Pink bears it all, talking about her past overdose, her challenging childhood.
I overdosed, and then I was out. Done. Too much.
Known for her raw, unapologetic honesty, Pink has transformed herself from a pop sensation into a global icon, using her platform to challenge the world's biggest injustices. She's smashed expectations, confronted governments, and uplifted marginalized voices. Pink's rise to fame wasn't just about her music. It was about reshaping the world. As one of the most distinctive voices in pop rock, Pink has spent over 2 decades captivating audiences with her powerful music, bold personality, and unwavering commitment to social change. Known for her fearless approach to tackling personal and political issues, Pink has become a cultural icon, using her platform not only to entertain but also to influence and challenge the world. From her rise to fame as a rebellious pop star to her transformation into a political activist, Pink's journey has been defined by an unrelenting pursuit of authenticity and justice. Pink, born Alicia Beth Moore, is a name that resonates far beyond the realm of music. Pink's career began at a time when the music industry was dominated by polished pop stars like Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera. In contrast to the sugary, sweet image that characterized much of mainstream pop, Pink emerged with a fierce, unapologetic persona. Her debut album, Can't Take Me Home, introduced a young artist with an attitude and a sound that defied expectations. With a blend of R&B and hip-hop influences, Pink's music was a departure from the typical pop sound of the time, and her edgy, rebellious attitude was evident from the first note. Songs like There You Go and Most Girls showcased a young woman ready to break free from the stereotypes often imposed on female artists. In an era when women in music were often expected to be cookie-cutter images of femininity, Pink shattered that expectation. Rather than hiding behind a soft, polished persona, she boldly asserted herself as an artist who wouldn't be defined by conventional standards. Her lyrics tackled themes of independence, self-worth, and standing up for what you believe in, an approach that resonated with young people, especially women who were often underrepresented in the mainstream media. Through this raw, authentic expression, Pink captured the attention of an audience hungry for someone unafraid to speak her mind. However, it was with her second album, Misunderstood, that Pink truly solidified her place in the music world. The album marked a significant shift, both musically and personally, as Pink embraced a rock-infused sound that resonated with a generation of fans disillusioned by the cookie-cutter pop stars of the era. Tracks like Just Like a Pill and Don't Let Me Get Me became anthems for those who felt out of place in a society that demanded conformity. Misunderstood was not just an album, it was a manifesto of rebellion and self-acceptance, offering a voice to people who felt they didn't belong. Pink's honesty in addressing issues like addiction, emotional struggle, and identity resonated deeply with listeners, and her music became a refuge for those navigating their own personal battles. At the heart of Pink's success was her ability to speak directly to her fans about real, raw experiences. Unlike many of her contemporaries, she wasn't afraid to confront difficult emotions or societal issues. Whether singing about heartbreak, self-worth, or feeling trapped in a world that didn't understand her, Pink's authenticity became the foundation of her music and her public image. This honest, no-holds-barred approach allowed her to cultivate a dedicated fan base that admired her for being unapologetically herself. While Pink's music was groundbreaking in its raw honesty, it was her venture into political activism that set her apart from many other celebrities of her time. From the outset, it was clear that Pink's success as an artist didn't just come with an interest in fame, but with a genuine desire to make a difference. As she became more established in the public eye, she started to use her platform to speak out on issues that went beyond music. It wasn't enough for Pink to simply create art. She felt compelled to be a voice for change, using her fame as a vehicle to address pressing political and social issues. One of Pink's most notable political moments came in 2006 with the release of the song Dear Mr. President. A direct critique of then-President George W. Bush, the song was a scathing commentary on his policies, particularly regarding the Iraq War. Dear Mr. President wasn't just a song. It was a bold declaration of Pink's belief that artists have a responsibility to speak out against injustice. The song's lyrics, which addressed everything from war to poverty and inequality, revealed Pink's growing awareness of her power as a public figure and her commitment to using it for good. The song was controversial, and it divided public opinion, but it also solidified Pink's place as an artist who would not shy away from speaking truth to power. However, her activism didn't stop with Dear Mr. President. In subsequent years, Pink began to align herself with causes that reflected her values, whether it was advocating for women's rights, LGBTQIA+ rights, or before fighting against corporate greed. Her advocacy for marriage equality and support for the LGBTQIA+ community became central aspects of her public identity. Pink has long been an ally to marginalized communities, and her stance on social justice issues only strengthened her connection with fans who shared her ideals. She used her platform not just to entertain, but to lift up the voices of those who had been marginalized or silenced by society, particularly those fighting for civil rights. Pink's commitment to these causes was unwavering. She spoke passionately about gender equality and often criticized the way women were objectified in the media. Pink pushed back against the stereotypes that the entertainment industry often forced on women, and used her fame to call for a more inclusive, respectful representation of women in all facets of society. Whether on stage or in interviews, Pink has consistently used her celebrity to promote change, showing that fame isn't just a privilege, it's a responsibility. Beyond her outspoken political commentary, Pink took a more active role in the fight for climate justice. As a mother, Pink's perspective on the world began to shift. It wasn't just about her own career or her legacy, it was about creating a future for her children and ensuring that the world they inherited was one that they could thrive in. This led her to advocate for environmental policies and raise awareness about the urgent need to address climate change. Pink's environmental activism grew out of a desire to make sure the world she left behind wasn't destroyed by the neglect of powerful corporations and politicians who ignored science for the sake of profit. She called on her fans to join her in demanding action, making climate change one of the most important issues she championed. Pink's involvement in climate activism came at a time when many of her peers were hesitant to speak out about the environment, partly due to the commercial pressures of the industry. Yet, Pink understood the importance of using her influence to fight for a healthier planet. She used her social media platforms to inform her millions of followers about climate issues, emphasizing the need for sustainable living and the impact of human actions on the environment. Her advocacy brought attention to critical topics such as deforestation, pollution, and the need for renewable energy. Her personal commitment to sustainability also inspired others in the entertainment industry to consider their own roles in environmental activism. While Pink's public life has always been about more than just her music, her private life has been equally complex. Over the years, Pink has had to navigate the pressures of fame, personal growth, and motherhood. Being in the public eye has meant constantly balancing her professional career with her family life, a challenge that is amplified when one's every move is scrutinized by the media. Despite the challenges, Pink has remained fiercely protective of her personal life, especially when it comes to her relationship with her husband, motocross racer Carey Hart, and their children. The complexities of fame, relationships, and personal identity have often been reflected in her music. Over the years, Pink has written songs that speak to the joys and struggles of her personal life, including her relationship with Hart. Songs like Just Give Me a Reason have touched on the nuances of love, conflict, and reconciliation. Yet, even in her most intimate moments, she has remained true to her voice, never hiding the real, often messy parts of life. This authenticity has allowed her to remain relevant across generations, as fans continue to find connection in her vulnerability.